Hey, what's up, yins guys? I'm going to do another video. And since I've been seeing this on the TV news just like last night and then in the early morning news, I got to talk about this in, if you want to call it gang stalking or, but I don't want to just say that, it's surveillance in general because of tech. Before any fucking trolls, want to say, somebody is mentally deranged or you need medication. I am very aware of well, I look at the YouTube channel, the Vice YouTube channel, and they were good in a lot of shit that's going on all over the world. Really bad shit that's going on here. A lot of wonderful documentaries on there. But I want to pair this in with their video documentary about gang stalking, and their version of it, along with other documentaries. They're making it look like these people got these syndromes, these paranoid syndromes. And yes, there is a fucking syndrome out there. I seen on once in a while. Me and the girlfriend had Dr. Phil on, and there was this woman that she really did have problems, a syndrome like that. She was going crazy, cutting the couches open and shit and everything else, and there wasn't really nothing. So there is a syndrome like that. I have a theory that some of these people know about the tech that's over there because it's fucking everywhere. Or the tech, it's just hey, this is the 21st century now. That tech exists, and I think there's people out there that haven't adjusted to it. You know what I mean? But so advice is making it look like everybody's like that, and they're not. And me, my attitude is I'm aware of all the tech. In your store, you don't not doing anything wrong. You shouldn't worry. But fucking North Korea has that tech going on, and they're literally looking at your facial expression if you're walking around too cocky, and you got a little bit of that around here. Uh, but yeah, what I want to talk about is there's good and bad. This is a double-edged sword. There's good and bad in it. Yes, it could be used to harass good people because of, even though I can't stand religion, I have my own beliefs anyway. Um, the number of the beast thing, and there's because of tech, I'm a firm believer. I don't give a fuck what you believe in, even if you're an atheist. Because of the tech, there's kind of a number of a beast coming, and that tech can be misused and all that stuff too. But the double-edged sword of it, that they have this DNA and they have facial recognition, or if you're everywhere, there's facial recognition. They see it zoom in the cameras. Well, anyway, on the TV news just this morning and the other day, there's people that want to say that facial recognition, everything from DNA and facial recognition, is a violation of people's rights and stuff. Um, well, if it's misused. But what gives me the creeps, I says, I don't want to stick up for it, and I don't want to be too far. You don't want to be too far this way or too far this way. But yeah, there's a lot of people behind the scenes and that shit that can use it to harass certain people. Yes, maybe because of their race or because of how they look or because of this or because of that. But then, yeah, there was a lot of terrorism going on too, and people doing some really fucked up things, and doing shootings and everything else. And I understand that, but there's actually another thing out there. Say you want to totally outlaw it completely. I don't want to totally do that. You know why? Because if somebody does something to your family member, either murders them or whatever, or do something bad, and you want to see them caught, you're fucking yourself. But if you're totally kissing the ass of it, you maybe have faith that it's not totally thinking everybody's out to get you. And I, for one, like I said, I had relatives that have been in jail for this and that, and I got stopped by a cop once because supposedly because of he said, she said, somebody called and said, somebody called to see you walking around drunk. And they actually did a search and searched me and everything. Of course, they don't find anything. And if they don't find anything, you're usually all right. But I don't care who you're watching. If you're making more money than me, if you're better dressed than me, what kind of salary you make, maybe a few times in your life, when you're driving, you're going to get stopped by a cop for a certain kind of driving. They got reasonable cause and how they're catching. You see on the news how they're catching people with all this damn opioids and this rock cocaine and heroin and meth and all that shit by like the tons, millions of dollars worth. And it's like this. And there's people that are carrying guns that shouldn't be, that are doing shit to people, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't want everybody else to be helpless either, just because of some fucker with a gun. But it's like this: say the line is all right here and here. Both sides of that spectrum are touching. This line, the wall. There's one side that yes, if you're of a car, you're going to be. I don't care who you are, you're going to get stopped by the cops, and they can check things. That the line of that reasonable cause, like I'm saying, like both of the lines touch, right? You get, say, this side, it's like real close border here. Say they can't stop anybody, say, at all, right? That's what fucking creeps me out too. You don't always there is a thing where if they can't, it's touching this side of the line, then a lot of people out there can just walk the hell right by. How the fuck are you going to catch them, right? Not that I'm sticking up for them, but then there's this side of the spectrum that, yeah, looks too, and people that know it ain't doing nothing but creeps them the hell out, you know what I mean? And there's a scenario if you spook the police, so to speak, and you got to prove in court. Hopefully they have a body cam on them to prove that you didn't do any kind of resisting or spook them or anything. And if you were dumb enough to do anything stupid, you can get in more trouble than, say, if you did a petty crime and all that. But yeah, if you had people that had priors, in your family, the eye could be watching you. From my case, it doesn't pay to do any kind of like illegal drugs like that. For one thing, there's some days I'm richer and some days I'm poorer or whatever too. Hoping I'm on a list to try to land one of these better jobs, all that, and get my former glory back. But I work jobs on call, I check in and all that stuff too, agency, get enough to pay the rent, get this threshold, and maybe have money to buy a pizza. But even when I was in my 20s doing better, got lucky enough to land a better paying job, I spent it on fucking food. I lived across from a restaurant. And then, yeah, I was more than proud to be with somebody with a ponytail. Old people say, hey, I bet he's selling drugs. He get money on him all the time. But meanwhile, I was working 10 hours and stuff like that, and my day was shot. I lived across from a restaurant. Screw it. Spent a lot of my money on food. Do you know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, even when I was richer, so to speak, and had more money an hour, the rent goes up a little bit. And even when you got more money, even people got more money than me will kite checks and cheat a little bit, pay the rent a little late just so they can maybe buy that extra pizza. That's how I am. And another thing I want to say too, there's another thing out there too that I don't want to see happen. All that on our TV news, a cop was checking some guy. Yeah, he had priors, and then they were checking him for knives or whatever. And they say on the show, cops, you have anything that could stick me? A cop got stuck with a needle. I guess, I don't know, it's hard not to or whatever, but the first thing I seen on the news, I don't know if it's happened out there, but it made on news, and he got to get all these shots and all that shit because you don't know, they don't know if he caught something. I guess that's just as bad as getting bit by something that might have rabies. You've got to take a whole bunch of shots. I don't want to see that happen to anybody. I don't care who you are, or if you're a cop, or even if you're a cop that's slightly by the book and a little meaner. I don't want to see that happen to anybody. I don't fucking like needles. Gives me the creeps that anybody can actually want to inject that shit. And like I said, I don't even believe in cigarettes. There's a point, I have friends that smoke, but I have this hate relationship for cigarettes. No offense to people I know that smoke. Conflicts at home, like when you first live at home, if you got your first apartment, if you ever lived at home and then left again, financial stuff. Yeah, you go beyond the call, or you got to pay a certain amount you agreed to living at home before you get back out again. And then it's not always good enough, and you're paying this and there. But yeah, they're getting in there and telling you, well, yeah, even though you paid what you promised, what are you spending this money on this and that before? That's a waste of money. But then you're spending X amount of dollars. I don't care if it's CDs or some kind of things for your computer. That's a waste of money. Speaking to you like you're 8 years old, and you got the family member, right, that they can say that, but they're going and buying 5 cartons of cigarettes, you know what I mean, with the stepdad's Social Security money and little money get from the military, and they're not actually working for it. They're older, and you don't want to say nothing about that. There's nothing if they're not telling you what to do. Don't tell me what to do in that. So there was people like us in where I live now. It says, "I'll get you go on a run for you, buy you a gallon of milk or something to the store. Even though I'm going to the store, I will not buy your cigarettes because I have to have an ID to buy the cigarettes. And then I'm like what it looks like. It makes it look like I smoke. I don't care if you're paying me to buy your cigarettes. I have a certain amount of, I can't stand religion, but I got sacred beliefs. Put it this way, that I'm sorry, get your own cigarettes. That's not a necessity. I'm not helping you. Maybe you might, I don't even, I mean, you might be my friend and all, but if there's things you're not telling me that your doctor tells me you can't smoke and you die of a heart attack, and it's on my conscience, you know what I mean? Because you're not supposed to have cigarettes. Your doctor told you not to if you're older than me. I'm not having that on my conscience because even though you didn't tell me, I ain't doing that. And then plus, I'm seeing my ID buying cigarettes, and every I thinks I smoking. And then people be getting mad. Oh, you got a cigarette? And I said, no, I don't smoke. And they might say, oh, you liar! I saw you out there buying cigarettes. And I'd have to be like, no, I bought. No, I ain't doing that. And then so that's the way it is. I mean, but yeah, I went a little off the subject, but surveillance is out there even now. It's there are certain people who are going to be singled out. There's going to be temptation to use that to harass certain people. But I'm one of them people, though. I'm not paranoid. Don't any of you trolls try to fucking accuse me. So, oh yeah, unmedicated. Oh yeah, you need meds now for expressing your opinion. And if it's any consolation into you, I'm not one of them paranoid types. I said, you want to check me out? Go ahead. If it makes you feel better, I preach that. Yeah. I got mad. I got searched by a cop one time. It was a long time. But yet I preached it. I was like, well, it makes you feel better. But if there's another way you can find out, when you get checked, whether you're stopped with a car, they get your ID and they want to see if you have any priors or whatever, or any prior arrest warrants. That's how it goes too. But I'm one of them people. I worked for a charity. I understand the camera eye. We're gonna be living like the movie Babylon AD and the movie Dune. Because of fucking tech. It's not paranoia. It's out there that people really do have that syndrome. I think they're unable to psychologically adjust. There's people out there like it. But I'm one of them people. They're like, go on. Wave to the camera. And then if you make videos about the gang stalking and all that, you're on a fucking video, I hate to say. You're on a fucking video. You're speaking your mind out there rather than isolating. So I'm one of them. I love that Judas Priest song, even in the 70s. He was, Rob Halford was singing about that way back then because of the tech is coming. And, Rob Halford, it's still on YouTube. I remember when, aging gray-haired headbanger, too. And Rob Halford, on there, it's on YouTube. He's got the leather outfit and then the hat. Looks just, and a whip in his hand, and he's hanging on a rafter there, and he looks just like in the Police Academy movies, the for comic relief there, the Blue Oyster, and I remember we were watching that on MTV one time. Judas Priest, one of the pretty popular metal band, and my brother said, "Hey, he looks just like the guys in the Blue Oyster in the Police Academy," and my mother busted out laughing. But anyway, I still at the band, and then he's over there singing that, and then a guitar player over here, a bunch of flashing lights around here, up there in space. I'm looking down on you. My lasers trace everything you do. You think you got privacy? Think nothing of the kind. There is no true escape. I'm watching all the time. I'm universal. My circuits gleam. I am perpetual. I keep the country clean. I'm elected electric spy. I'm protective electric eye. Always on the focus. You don't feel my stare. I zoom into you. You don't know I'm there. I take pride in probing all your secret moves. Taking pictures I can prove. I'm elected, protected, detected, electric eye. Ugh, yeah. My horrible singing. But anyway, you got the idea. Yeah, the tech is always there, folks. You know what I mean? Don't let it make you paranoid. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Don't act like it don't exist. But I mean, yeah, hey, you want to go and wave up there in the sky? Go ahead, go ahead and do it too. But yeah, it's definitely out there. Oh yeah, remember that song that was like the Alan Parsons Project? I am the eye in the sky, looking at you. I can I can read your mind. I am the maker of rules, dealing with fools. I can cheat you blind. It can be talking about the eye of God in the sky, but there's all this stuff going on too. You can use that song as a sarcasm. You know what I mean? But yes, it can be to target people's political enemies unfairly and see where people are. And I remember I was watching Glenn Danzig on Jonesy's Jukebox. Yeah, I'm bringing Danzig up again, you guys that know me. Jonesy's Jukebox. Even though you don't have that on your phone engaged, to um, I know one of the best things that Danzig ever said. He says, this day and age, he's pretty much, if people want to find you because of the tech, if people want to find you, they're going to fucking find you. You know what I mean? And they're keeping tracks on people with computers. Well, people are fighting that. The facial recognition, it's a little scary, but it's going through one way or another. And then that DNA thing, even though you don't surrender DNA if you were arrested, they fucking have your DNA. If they ever took a blood sample in a hospital, people fucking have it. You don't know where the fuck it's going. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but how easy it could be to send them blood samples out. But the good thing about the fucking DNA, I remember this documentary I saw years ago. I don't know, an insignificant, wasn't as famous as Soundgarden and all them people from Seattle, all the bands from Seattle. This woman, the one band that was called, I forget what her name is, but she was murdered over in Seattle. It took 10 years to solve the crime, and I didn't even know about this till I saw a documentary on television one time. Groups like Soundgarden, everybody had these concerts, benefit concerts, to raise money to find her killer, where they found a killer 10 years later, and because of DNA, it's scanned. Well, you got things that scan faces, scan fingerprints, and without that, the guy never would have got caught. And I'm saying this from memory, but I think I'm pretty sure it was an illegal immigrant from somewhere, and he was going place to place, staying with different girlfriends. Look it up, or I'll get the article for you. So there's pros and cons to do it. I mean, what would you rather have? People that just walk away if somebody did something to a member of your family? They're going to just get away with it because you don't want none of that. But then I don't want to totally stick up for it and stick up for authority either. I mean, but I want to be fair. I mean, people can misuse it and shit. I mean, you read your people read the Bible, but there's so many other stuff about tech too. Where it's going to get too tyrannical and trace every single thing you make. Like they're already doing that in North Korea. And I think people do got to stand against that. Absolutely. But what I'm saying is you don't want to force any laws that are do away with it all completely. Because if something happens to somebody, a member of family, or if somebody goes and robs you, does something, and does a permanent injury, you got to be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. They did something and took your money, or they did something, and you don't want to fuck yourself over. Oh, now you're going to be crying for that. Hopefully they catch the guy, too. But I'm not going to totally stick up for it either. I use this shit to stalk people. Absolutely not. I mean, there's a number of the beast. You get the wrong. There might be some world tyrant out there that will actually use that. Absolutely. I mean,